And I'm starting to think that my grandma's in trouble.
Who's ready to celebrate?
I'm gonna make sure you don't go down.
To our future.
General Hospital.
Port Charles has seen its fair share of secrets, but nothing could have prepared anyone for the moment Deliah's carefully guarded truth finally came crashing into the light. For weeks, whispers floated through the Metro Court, lingering in corners and echoing through hallways. Carly felt it, Jason sensed it, and Deliah, she was holding her breath, hoping fate would blink first. But fate never blinks in Port Charles. It all begins with a simple envelope, no dramatic music, no flashing warning signs, just a plain, ordinary envelope that lands in Carly's hands. She almost laughs at how harmless it looks, if only she knew. Inside is the proof, not a rumor, not speculation, solid, undeniable proof that Deliah has been hiding something that could change everything for everyone involved. Carly doesn't explode right away. No, that would be too easy. Instead, she goes quiet. And when Carly goes quiet, that's when people should really start worrying. Jason notices immediately. He knows her better than anyone. One look at her expression, and he knows something is wrong. He asks her what's going on, and Carly gives him that half smile, the one that says she's about to kiss him or start a war. "You might want to sit down," she tells him. Jason doesn't sit. When Carly hands him the papers, he reads them slowly. His jaw tightens, his eyes darken, but it's not anger right away, it's disbelief, because the truth about Deliah isn't just shocking, it's personal. Deliah hasn't just been keeping a harmless little secret, she's been pulling strings, manipulating situations, nudging events in subtle ways that pushed Jason and Carly further apart at exactly the wrong moments. And suddenly, arguments that never made sense start making sense. Missed calls, mysterious misunderstandings, convenient timing. Jason realizes they weren't drifting apart by accident. Someone was helping them drift. Carly feels betrayed, yes, but Jason feels something deeper, guilt, because somewhere along the way, he let doubt creep in. He questioned Carly. He pulled back when he should have leaned in. And that's when the explosive showdown everyone's been waiting for finally happens. Deliah walks into the Metro Court expecting another quiet afternoon. What she gets instead is Carly standing at the bar, arms crossed, wearing heels sharp enough to slice through steel. Jason stands just behind her, calm but intense. Deliah tries to smile. It doesn't quite land. Carly doesn't waste time. She lays the papers down on the counter between them. The color drains from Deliah's face. Now here's where things get interesting. Deliah doesn't deny it. She doesn't cry, she doesn't run. Instead, she lifts her chin and says something no one expected. "I did it for a reason." Poor Charles collectively leans in. Deliah explains that she believed Jason and Carly were toxic together, that every time they got close, chaos followed. She thought she was protecting them from each other. Jason almost laughs, not because it's funny, but because it's absurd. "Protecting us?" he repeats. Carly, however, finds the humor in it first. She lets out a short, sharp laugh. "So sabotaging us was your version of relationship counseling?" Even Jason can't help the corner of his mouth twitching at that. But beneath the humor, the betrayal still stings. Deliah insists she saw the cracks forming and simply widened them, that she never intended for things to spiral so far. She thought once they cooled off, they'd thank her. Carly steps closer, her voice steady but fierce. "You don't get to decide what's good for us." And that's the truth at the heart of it all. Jason finally steps forward, not aggressive, not threatening, just certain. He tells Deliah that love isn't neat, it isn't safe, it isn't something you can manage like a business deal. It's messy and complicated, and sometimes it explodes, but it's theirs. That word hangs in the air, theirs. For a moment, the tension shifts, because suddenly this isn't about Deliah anymore. It's about Jason and Carly realizing something important. They survived the manipulation, they survived the doubt, and somehow they're still standing side by side. Deliah sees it too, the unity, the unspoken understanding that just passed between them, and for the first time she looks unsure. not defeated, just outnumbered. Carly surprises everyone by not demanding revenge. She doesn't threaten, she doesn't vow payback. Instead, she says something far more powerful. If you ever interfere in our lives again, you won't like the outcome. It's calm, it's simple, and it lands harder than any dramatic outburst could have. Deliah leaves, but the damage and the clarity remain. Now comes the part no one saw coming. Instead of another argument between Carly and Jason, there's silence, the good kind, the kind where two people realize they almost lost something precious because they stopped talking. Carly admits she should have trusted him more. Jason admits he should have fought harder instead of pulling away. And then, in true Port Charles fashion, the tension melts into something softer. Carly teases him first, so next time someone tries to break us up, maybe we check with each other before assuming the worst. Jason gives her that rare, almost shy smile. Next time, we don't let there be a next time. It's not flashy, it's not dramatic, it's real. But Port Charles isn't done stirring the pot just yet, because while Deliah may have been exposed, her motives raise bigger questions. Who tipped Carly off? Who wanted this truth revealed now? And is there someone else quietly watching from the sidelines, waiting for the next opportunity to shake things up? As Jason and Carly leave the Metro Court together, there's a spark between them that hasn't been there for weeks. Not just passion, partnership. They walk out stronger than before. And for once, the explosion didn't destroy them, it rebuilt them. But in a town like this, peace never lasts forever. Across the room, someone picks up the discarded envelope Deliah left behind. Inside is another document, one Carly and Jason haven't seen yet. Another layer, another secret. Because in Port Charles, when one secret is exposed, another is already waiting in the shadows. The real question isn't whether Delilah's revelation changed everything. It's whether Jason and Carly are finally ready to face whatever comes next, together. If you think this is the beginning of a stronger chapter for them, or if you suspect another storm is already brewing, let me know your predictions. Do you trust that Deliah is done interfering, or is this only the first move in a much bigger game? Stay tuned, because in Port Charles, love may survive the explosion, but secrets always leave a spark behind.
The envelope should have been the end of it. Secrets exposed, motives revealed, lines drawn. But in Port Charles, the truth has layers, and Jason and Carly are about to peel back another one. Later that evening, Carly can't shake the feeling that something is still off. Jason notices it immediately. She's quieter than usual, staring into her coffee like it personally offended her. "You're thinking too hard," he tells her gently. "I'm always thinking too hard," she fires back, but there's a softness in her tone now. "That's how I survive this town." Jason leans closer. "You don't have to survive everything alone." And there it is again, that shift, the reminder that whatever storm hits next, they're facing it together. But while they're rebuilding trust, Deliah is unraveling. She sits alone, replaying the confrontation over and over. She didn't expect them to stand united. She thought at least one of them would crack. That's how it always worked before. Only this time, they didn't, and that changes everything. Because Deliah wasn't the only one nudging events behind the scenes. The mysterious second document from the envelope finally makes its way back into the story, when Jason receives a late-night message from an anonymous sender. No name, no explanation, just a photo. It's a copy of that missing paper. Jason shows Carly immediately. No hesitation this time, no silence, just trust. The document reveals something bigger than manipulation. It suggests Deliah wasn't acting alone. There were financial transfers, meetings logged at unusual hours, someone with resources backing her. Carly's eyes narrow. So she wasn't protecting us, she was working for someone. Jason nods slowly. Or with someone. And suddenly, the romantic reconciliation turns into a mission. But here's the difference now. They're aligned. No secrets between them. No guessing what the other is thinking.
They decide to confront Deliah again, but this time it's not about anger, it's about answers. When they find her, she looks exhausted, guard down, defensive walls cracking. Jason places the document on the table in front of her. "You want to explain this?" he asks calmly. Delilah's composure finally slips. She admits someone approached her months ago, someone who believed Jason and Carly together were too powerful, too influential, that if they stayed united, they would dominate every corner of Port Charles. So the goal was simple: divide them. Deliah claims she thought she could control the situation, that she was just stirring minor doubt, not detonating emotional landmines. Carly shakes her head. You don't play with people's lives like they're chess pieces. But instead of exploding again, Carly does something unexpected. She laughs, softly, almost incredulously. "All this effort to break us up? Honestly, I'm flattered." Jason actually smirks at that, because here's the truth no one wanted to admit. Every attempt to pull them apart keeps reminding them why they fight so hard to stay together. Deliah finally reveals the name of the person who backed her, and it's someone neither of them expected. The realization settles in heavy. This wasn't just jealousy, this was strategy. Someone calculating, patient, and very aware of Jason and Carly's history. Now the stakes are higher. Instead of reacting emotionally, Jason and Carly make a decision. They won't strike back recklessly. They'll outmaneuver. And this is where their chemistry truly shines. They start working together again the way they used to, finishing each other's thoughts, anticipating moves, teasing each other even in tense moments. At one point, while planning their next step, Carly looks at Jason and says, "You realize this is basically foreplay for us, right? Strategizing against a common enemy?" Jason raises an eyebrow. "You think this is romantic?" "In a twisted Port Charles way, absolutely." He can't argue with that. But danger still simmers beneath the humor. The person behind Deliah isn't done. They didn't invest time and money just to watch the plan collapse. Soon, subtle pressure starts building. Business deals stall, invitations disappear, rumors resurface. Instead of panicking, Carly leans into it. She hosts a public event, making sure she and Jason arrive together, united, unbothered, radiating the exact strength their enemy hoped to dismantle. Whispers ripple through the crowd. Jason keeps a protective but relaxed hand at Carly's back, not possessive, partnership. Deliah watches from a distance. There's regret in her expression now. She underestimated them, and in doing so, she may have put herself in danger too, because whoever orchestrated this won't be pleased. Later that night, Deliah receives a message. 3 words: "You failed." Now she's scared, and for the first time, she goes to Jason and Carly not as a manipulator, but as someone asking for protection. Carly folds her arms. This is ironic. Jason studies Deliah carefully. He can tell the fear is real. They face a choice: turn their backs on her and let her deal with the consequences, or help her and risk pulling themselves deeper into the web. Carly sighs dramatically. Why is it always complicated with us? Jason's response is simple: because we don't do anything halfway. After a long pause, Carly agrees to help, but on one condition: no more secrets, total honesty. Deliah nods quickly. And just like that, the dynamic shifts again. Now it's not just about romance or revenge. It's about uncovering the bigger player pulling strings in Port Charles. Jason and Carly stand together, stronger than ever, not because they avoided conflict, but because they faced it head on. Their explosive showdown didn't destroy their bond. It tested it, and they passed. But as they dig deeper into the mystery, one thing becomes clear. The next explosion won't be emotional. It will be strategic, and this time, they're ready for it. So the question now is who truly wants Jason and Carly apart, and how far are they willing to go to make it happen? Because in this town, love stories aren't just romantic, they're battlegrounds, and this one is far from over.
The only one who can give him what he needs right now.
The alternative to making this agreement was unacceptable. I had to put it to bed.
Why won't you let this go?
Just because you can do it. Maybe we should show him that by doing the opposite.
I just need to know how far you would go to protect her.
Now it's time to do it my way.